CSS proudly helps oversee your safety here on campus, so we'd like to offer some best practices and skills for living safely on your own. Whether you just want a place to crash or a home you'll never need to leave, safety in your new home requires little vigilance and effort. It's okay to ask landlords questions about repairs, age and efficiency of appliances, leaks, and other problems that will soon be yours. In larger apartment buildings, the superintendent will likely live in the building. Make sure you have their contact information and call them about any concerns. Learn if smoking is permitted on the property. Landlords are required by law to provide working smoke and carbon dioxide detectors. Number and location may vary. If there's no fire extinguisher, buy one and keep it accessible. Check the accessibility of fire escapes. For air conditioners, ask about a filter change schedule. Renting a private-owned property? Make sure it's zoned for rental. If not, you could potentially lose the place with only 30 days' notice. Take time to check police call and arrest logs and the local sex offender registry. Maybe take a class in self-defense. Research bus, subway, and car services as well as bike paths. Know what days and times you could be stranded with reduced service. Find various routes walking to and from stations. Do this during the day to avoid dead ends and unfamiliar areas in the dark. Locate medical services, police stations, and security cameras along your most traveled routes. Learn the evacuation routes. Have a car? Find safe streets or lots to park on. In cities, carefully read all parking signs to avoid being towed or ticketed. Often who you live with can be more important than where you live. For harmonious space sharing, first check in with yourself. What are your particularities that might cause conflict or anxiety? What are your needs around noise, allergens, fragrances, and chemicals? What are your habits around eating, sleeping, and alone time? What are your comfort baselines for cleanliness and financial security? What are some of your inclinations and vulnerabilities? Are you inclined to agree to anything? Or maybe you're a little controlling. Be honest and don't assume you're always going to be chill. After you've checked in with yourself, check in with potential housemates. Do they get your non-negotiables? Can they be honest with you about their own dislikes? Can they afford their share of rent and expenses? Can you agree on a baseline for tidiness? Don't assume everyone knows how to use a sponge. Do they practice the accordion all day and night? Do they own an accordion? Will their favorite games activate your anxiety? Once you settle in, make sure you and your housemates practice habits that keep you and your home safe. Don't invite passersby to scope out your stuff and observe your routine. Make sure locks on doors and easily accessible windows all work. You may already have a security system, but if you're renting, don't get talked into purchasing something not allowed in the lease or more than you need. Keep blinds and curtains closed. When traveling, pause mail delivery or ask a friend to collect it. When someone knocks, turn on the porch light before opening the door and ask who's there. Apartment doors usually have a peephole. If they have a package, ask them to leave it at the door. When something about a solicitor or stranger feels off, trust your gut and tell them you can't open the door. You can also post a sign to reduce traffic at your door. When leaving the house, be sure to lock all doors and accessible windows. If there are no locks on windows, security bars can be purchased. Take and keep your keys with you. Turn on outdoor lights for your return. While you're out, pay attention to your surroundings. Walking alone at night? Carry a pepper spray alarm and talk on your phone if you feel unsafe. When you return, get your keys ready before reaching your door and be aware of anyone nearby. With code locks, avoid being seen entering the code. Neighbors can be invisible, a nightmare, or a great comfort. But before you knock on their door, don't assume proximity means camaraderie or shared reality. Neighbors aren't obliged to like each other. Tell them your first name and that they'll probably see you around. No need to exchange phone numbers. Tell them you live by yourself or ask them to be your bestie. If they ask you to come inside, even if it's to help with something, postpone until you get to know them more publicly. If it feels comfortable, ask them about local resources. This tells you more about them and whether they have any needs you could assist with. Get a feel for the neighborhood by checking out farmers markets and festivals. Knowing when they happen can prepare you for transit schedule changes, parking issues, and street closings. A new place gives you lots to think about, but we hope you'll use these suggestions to feel safe and sound in your new home. Don't forget to come back and tell us all about it.